Bobby Firmino. I've given him a 9, and it's mental that I'm giving him a 9 because in any other season, Roberto Firmino gets a 10. But unfortunately, he's not been as good as Mo Salah, so I've had to mark him slightly down. 27 goals, 11 assists. It's been a pretty good season.
Yeah. I've given him a 10 because I think he has been as good as Mo Salah. I think he's been instrumental in Mo Salah playing the way that he has been playing. I think everything that he does for the team is absolutely incredible. You know, we'll all talk about the work rate, every single person. You can't talk about Roberto Firmino without talking about the work rate because it's there, because he applies himself every single game. He's played 54 games this season. I mean, it's a mammoth amount of football the lad's played, and he's not gone missing in one of them. Not for me. And, you know, I thought maybe a 10 out of 10 season for Roberto Firmino would have been 20 goals maybe and 10 assists. He has exceeded expectations massively about what you can do in the false 9 role for Liverpool Football Club. I mean, he's not supposed to score 30 goals in a season playing a false 9. Nobody does. But he's nearly done it. You know, he's got 27 goals. He's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, Emma, all of that. He's been genuinely phenomenal. We were sat here last year and I remember someone saying, can he ever be a 20 goal a season for? And I said, yeah, but by 20 goal, I meant it as like a catch-all phrase for scoring there or there. Like Michael Owen was a 20 goal a season when he very rarely scored that many goals in a season. I thought 18, 19, and you'd be able to go round it up to 20 and that'll be close enough. He's been an absolute bloody revelation.
He's been phenomenal, and I agree to some extent saying I don't think he has been as good as Salah, but I think he's been very, very, very close. But I believe he's more instrumental to the Liverpool team than Salah is. As in, I think obviously Salah's a world-class player, but I think the type of player Firmino is irreplaceable, and I don't think we could play our football without him. Whereas we could play it, but not quite as good without Salah. Mm-hmm. But the whole team would be completely different without Firmino. Yeah. I've got 9 written down, but to be honest, 9.5 is probably more accurate.
That's actually a pretty good shout. You know what? I agree. Pass the pen.
Not really anything else to say.
9.5.
It's been incredible.
Yeah, 9.5. I think I don't know if I agree with him being more instrumental to the side than Mo Salah, just purely because I think Saturday was possibly the best example for that. I don't think he was great on Saturday. I think a lot of that is down to the fact that Salah was off and he didn't really have the connection that he does with Salah that he does with Adam Lallana, but that's neither here nor there. At the beginning of the season, we'd signed Salah, and everybody was going, we need a striker who can give us a Luis Suarez season and all this, and we've got one. We've ended up with somebody who's produced the similar numbers that Suarez did in that 13-14. Just that Mo Salah's been a level above.
In any other season, he's our top goal scorer,
and
he's the best player, and absolutely undoubtedly. But there's another guy we can say that about as well. There's almost 2 more guys, and we'll come on to them in due course. But no, I like that. To be fair, I think 9.5 is a shout actually, because only in terms of contextualising it, I've only given 110
I have.
out, and that's because Salah's just, how the fuck, nobody's the goals, 44 fucking goals. You know what I mean? How are you meant to give? If I was, I'd have to give Salah like an 11. You know what I mean? Which let's not go down that route. I'm happy for the 9.5 on him. Sensational, and the thing about him is, I'm not sure he can score more goals, but I didn't think he could score this many goals last year. So it wouldn't shock me if he does that season again.
30.
Great, but it wouldn't shock me if he did score more, because again, I think he's gotten more clinical as the season's gone on. I think he's been more selfish when he's needed to be. Again, decision making. We're talking about the lad, you mentioned it about Henderson on part 2, Chris. He's adapted fully to this role now. He understands the role and he understands the players around him. When last season, in fact the season before, we said the criticism of him is that he looks to pass first before he shoots. Look at the goal he scores in the Etihad in the second leg. That is a Fernando Torres goal. That is a Luis Suarez goal. That is a
Thierry Henry goal. Whatever. Yeah, the way he wins the ball back off Otamendi and then just passes it into the bottom corner. I think he used the post on purpose in that goal. I think he genuinely just was picking his spot and was like, if I ain't in the inside post, it'll look great. This.
Everything he does like on purpose, like genuinely.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay then.
Yeah.
In the order of the sheet, let's get to it. 10 for Mo Salah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Without a shadow of a doubt. We have been waxing lyrical about him all season long, and you know, all we'll be doing is repeating it. But who cares? Let's repeat it. Chris, 44 goals and 13 assists. Like,
it's mind-bogglingly good.
In 52
Mind-bogglingly
starts in his debut season for Liverpool. On his return to England after
57
being let
goal
go by
involvements.
Chelsea.
57 goal involvements in 52 games or something. It's just, he's rewritten for the Premier League how good you can be as a centre-forward. And he's not even a fucking centre-forward half the time, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
he
winger.
is just scared the living daylight out of every single player he's come up against. We've got teams game planning against him. When was the last time we had a player, it was Luis Suarez, that you'd have to game plan against?
yeah.
You know, you've got the champions of Europe who, Marcelo, their attacking player, who do not change for anybody apart from Barcelona, their style of play. Change their style of play because of Mo Salah.
Yeah.
Because that's how good he's been, and people are recognising it. He's fucking world class. He's our player of the season. He's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He single-handedly got a nation to the World Cup. Like,
Yeah.
Single-handedly. That's
He was what player, the 10 in the player ratings was built for, Ben, because that is a perfect season, and that's why, I mean, the being double gutted for him in terms of the Champions League final, you can see it's heartbreak. And the amount of tears that were shed on the pitch, you know, from Liverpool players, his were the ones that broke my heart the most because of that thing, the World Cup added to it as well. There's a man who, he's a lovely fella, he's unilaterally loved across the world. Not like Suarez, who's clearly, you know, the fact that he's a bit of a bellend means that you're only going to really like him if he's your player, you know. The Bellamy's and all that, you know, there's plenty of those dickheads in the world. He's such an amazing footballer, an amazing person, an amazing role model. He deserves all the best luck in the world. And, you know, I think whether we ever see a season like this again, it's like he might have ruined player ratings for everyone. Because if this is what it takes to get a 10, I'm not sure we'll see a Liverpool player get to that, because that's a genuine Messi, Ronaldo level of world class performance.
He's the
this
best
season.
forward player I've ever seen in a Liverpool shirt.
Yeah.
You know that there are. Yeah, he's been
in
better
his
than
first season.
It took me a long time to convince myself that he was better than Suarez. But you know, as somebody who, you know, I've been a Liverpool fan all my life, but I've only been going to games the last few years. To have the honour to sit in that ground and watch some of the things that he's done this season, the 4 against Watford, that is just ridiculous what he does there. The thing for the third one where he's got 3 of them doing the fucking cha-cha slide, yeah. And he's just doing that, and he's like, it is just ridiculous. And obviously we all wish him the best of, you know, the best for going forward for the World Cup and stuff. And that is the funny thing as well. Watching all the rival fans of clubs scrambling to find something wrong. There must be something up with him, and they can't, because he's perfect. He's just everything. You know, if you watch the documentary in the week about him, you learn about how hard he's worked, how much he cares about football, how much he cares about his religion, and how he's doing all that, and the positive connotations that he's having on that religion. You know, and how that is having an impact in that religion, in terms of there are so many Muslims now going, thank God for that, because there are so many negative things said about us in the press as a race, and now we've got somebody representing us doing a great thing on a world stage, and what he stands for is much more than football, and that's one of the highest honours you can hope to achieve.
Absolutely right. I think that it's damn straight an absolute privilege to watch him, and I love the point that there was just a point. It was probably, I just kept waiting for the wheels to fall off, like the goals to drop, like him to go through like a 7 or 8 game dry spell.
He went through a dry spell, it was 3 games.
Yeah, like, it's literally ridiculous.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it was that moment when he scored the goal against Crystal Palace away, and I was like, yeah, this is going to be, you know, and that's mad because that's late in the season, but like when you realise that he has the ability to dig us out of tight situations and not just be the guy who's always on the front foot and, you know, running in and whatever. Absolute, a natural finisher. It was a great thing said by Stephen Gerrard on that documentary. He just says he becomes cooler in front of goal. Like, that doesn't happen, and people normally go the other way. He seems to calm down when he's between the sticks, like, which is mental. Brilliant. I don't know. We don't know. We can't know what comes for him. Hopefully for him, he's fit enough to play a part in the World Cup, and hopefully he's therefore fit enough to have a proper pre-season, because you know, he's so important to everything that we do. He's such a good player, and he deserves,
if
to
not,
have another great season.
we'll be telling our grandkids that we watched Mohamed Salah play for Liverpool.
Yeah, absolutely. Sadio Mane.